I don't really like vegetables at the moment, but I've been really forcing myself to eat them when I can. Hi guys, I am Joey Kendall Brown. This is my 11th baby diary. I am currently 34 weeks pregnant and I've had an incredibly busy morning today. Because I've been out and about for the last couple of baby diaries, I haven't really been able to kind of give an informative update on how I'm feeling. I'm definitely feeling 100% more pregnant. I think I was kind of going through the motions before, and now every day I'm waking up and thinking, oh my gosh, the baby is actually coming and he could come quite soon. He's definitely turned. He turned at 29 weeks and his head is right down on my bladder, so every time I stand up now I need the loo. I've been about 12 times already today, to the point where I feel like I actually might get cystitis. And if I try and hold on a little bit longer, I tend to get a lot of Braxton Hicks. Andy thinks my favourite word at the moment is Braxton Hicks. Apparently I've been using it a lot, but that's how I'm feeling. I went to my first antenatal class, so I was learning all about the different birth options, and I know a lot of people have asked me already what kind of plan I have. Well, the truth behind the matter is I actually don't have a plan at all. I kind of think it's one of those things that I might just wing. I feel like I'm a lot more informed now with the choices of water birth, C-section, obviously that's not something you ask to have yourself, and also a natural birth, and then also there's hypnobirthing. For me, I think the plan is possibly start with a water birth and then maybe get out to have the baby. I know the baby's meant to find it a lot less shocking when they are born into the water because it's the same temperature as your body temperature, so when they're born naturally and they're lifted out, obviously it's absolutely freezing compared to what your body temperature is. However, they are very warm rooms. I kind of don't want to have like a set idea in my head because I don't want to be left disappointed or anything like that, and obviously you can have lots of different complications. For me it's kind of just get to the hospital. I'm not going to have anything done at home because that would be too worrying for me. I've decided we had a choice of just having a birth centre. There's one near our house, or we can give birth in a birth centre with a maternity ward as well. So I've decided to go for the birth centre with the maternity ward, and that has all the different options. Like if I want a water birth, I can just ring in advance and get the pool filled up, and if I don't want one, I can just go to a normal room. So at least my body's getting ready and prepared for the actual contractions. However, that was another thing we learned in antenatal today. The scale of the Braxton Hicks hardly even measures in comparison to how you're actually going to feel when the contractions come. So I'm a little bit petrified of how I'm going to deal with the pain. I think I'll probably be screaming the house down or strangling Andy or something like that. Definitely be strangling Andy. I think what I'm going to do is start with gas and air. I'm not going to rule out an epidural, although having found out that you have to have a catheter, I'm not really sure I want to have a catheter. I'll kind of just try for as long as I can, I think, with the gas and air. I'm quite easily affected by things like alcohol and stuff like that, so I think it should have quite a dramatic effect on me. Well, let's hope so anyway. Lots of other things that we found out about is how long you kind of wait until you're overdue. So say your due date is, mine's the 21st of October, the hospital that I'm registered to go and give birth at, they'll wait for 12 days before they induce you, which is good to know. So if I have any plans or my husband has any plans, then we can kind of gauge that as being the last moment in time that we could give birth. But apparently it can take up to like 24 to 48 hours before you actually do give birth, so it may be like 14 days over your due date. I also had my 34-week checkup, so I'm 34 weeks and 2 days exactly. At my 31-week checkup, the baby was measuring on the small side. However, today he measured really big and he's well over the 100th centile, so I'm hoping that he's growing well. I've been doing my best to eat a lot of food, things like watermelon, which I read can be good to help growth. I've been making sure that I've been getting all my meals and lots of vegetables and stuff. I know a lot of people have asked me what kind of meal plan I've been having. Well, any sort of meal plan. I don't really like vegetables at the moment, but I've been really forcing myself to eat them when I can. I'm more of a kind of fruit person, which is weird because I used to hate sweet food, and I would always opt for like a salad over a bowl of fruit, for example. But now I tend to start my day with a couple of slices of toast. I always go for like wholemeal or sourdough or something like that. And then I'll move on to like a nice fruit bowl with peaches and watermelon. Watermelon's really delicious for me at the moment. The baby gets very excited. Sometimes like mango and things like that as well, or apples, a banana. I find a banana so good if I'm getting really hungry, but it's not quite lunchtime. That'll just fill me up and keep me going until lunch. I might have an extra breakfast. Sometimes, for example, Andy will come downstairs a little bit later than me because I will start work. I've been working from home for the last couple of weeks. I always start work at 9, so he'll come down at about 10ish, and then we'll have breakfast again together, so that will be my second or third breakfast, at which point I'll have like scrambled eggs and avocado. By the time I get to lunch, I tend to have either soup and a salad or a sandwich because I'm really struggling with the amount of food that I can eat because the baby's so high and his feet are right here kicking me under the ribs. I actually can't eat that much. And then the afternoon, I tend to be fruit again. I'll head back to the watermelon or maybe an apple or something like that. My kind of weakness, I would have to say, is crisps. If I know they're in the cupboard, I'm gonna have at least one packet. I'll always have chips. It's really hard for me not to have chips. I know it's terribly unhealthy, but carbs have been my favourite thing recently. And then for dinner, one of the things I'm really struggling with is I don't really like meat, which means that you can't eat that much because you're not meant to eat too much fish, and I would much rather have fish every single day and maybe like chicken once a week or twice a week. But now we've been having so much chicken, I feel like I couldn't even swallow the chicken that we had for dinner last night, and I've kind of gone a little bit veggie. So for example, having like a mushroom tagliatelle dish, or if we have pizza, I'll have mushrooms but then no meat or anything like that on it. Cool, well thank you guys so much for listening, and if you have any questions or any tips for me, please share. So thank you guys so much and see you soon, bye!